In ancient Sanskrit texts, there is a phrase by name Marjara Pinda Nyaya. Marjara Pinda Nyayana. Now what is that? Marjara means cat, Nyaya means moral defined, and Pinda means you know what it is. Okay, how it is related to today's class? Well, Marjara Pinda Nyaya tells you a story of a family who were performing sacred rites to their ancestors every year without fail. The household had a cat as their pet, which used to disrupt the puja by taking away the pinda every time the puja was on. Not able to bear the cat and its pranks, the head of the family decided to keep a yardstick beside him to shoo away the cat every time it came near. As the times passed, the head of the family died and so did the cat. Now his son, while performing rites for his father, also started keeping a yardstick and used to chant shoo shoo in between for no reason. As generations passed, his sons and their grandsons started to keep a bigger yardstick, and you know what they all used to do? They used to chant shoo shoo in chorus, believing that shooing will please their ancestors. The cat died ages ago, but the ritual of shooing moved on from generations to generations. The moral of the story is never follow anything blindly. Always know what you are doing by experiencing it. The Vedas say, eva vidyaya karoti shraddhaya aupanishada tadeva viryavattaram bhavati. It means if you want 100% result in any work what you do, first know its background and then understand why are you doing it. Once you know why are you doing the same, you will get the shraddha, that is nothing but the right devotion to perform the act. Slowly, this devotion towards a subject will reveal its inner essence, that is nothing but Upanishada, through which you will receive 100% result on what you are doing. So my kind advice to all fellow students is understand the program before you start typing it. Don't code things blindly. Coding is not just pressing Ctrl 1, Ctrl 2 and shout, yay, I've got my output. The program might be small or it might be silly. Just type the program and practice it with full devotion. If not today, tomorrow you will understand its true essence. Well, if you don't listen to my words, yadannalla, bagni kuta, can't help. Moving on with our today's class, let us first see what we did in our previous session. In our previous session, understanding data types, we saw the data type declared actually defines the size and type of our variable. Data types in Java are classified into three types, that is primitive data types, derived data types, and user-defined data types. Primitive data types include byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, and boolean. The data types were named primitive as it was present in C language. Primitive data types can be further classified as numerical and non-numerical data types, wherein we can see numerical data types are further classified as whole number types and fractional number types, aka your decimal point types. Data types like byte, short, int, and long fall under whole number types, and data types like float and double fall under decimal point types. We understood char and boolean fall under non-numerical data types, and that concluded classification of primitive data types in Java. In our program datatypes-demo.java, we saw a demonstration on all primitive data types. With the help of this program, we understood the importance of size and range of all data types present. In variable transfer examples, we saw how bit transfer was initiated, that is, values moved from right hand side to left hand side. We saw how variable sizes are related to different bucket sizes, through which we understood the importance of implicit and explicit typecasting. Typecasting is a process of assigning variable values of unequal sizes. Here we saw all by adding an external cast, values on our RHS get trimmed to fit itself to a variable present in our LHS. Last but not the least, we saw how byte arithmetic is performed in Java, and we understood why an explicit byte cast is to be added before adding two byte values. Well, in our today's class, let us see another important data type in Java, which is nothing but arrays. In our previous session, we had seen data types in Java are classified as A. primitive data types, B. derived data types, and C. user-defined data types. Arrays in Java fall under derived data types category. Arrays are used to store multiple values of a same data type in a single variable. By nature, all arrays are objects in Java. Yena? Arrays are objects. What is an object? ಅಡಚಣೆಗಾಗಿ ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ To create an array, we need to follow the below syntax. Take a look.
Declaring and creating an array.
To declare an array variable, first we have to type its data type, and then we have to type big brackets followed by a variable name as shown here. Next we type the assignment operator followed by a new keyword. A new keyword in Java helps us to create a new object. I will teach you more on this new keyword when I start teaching OOPS. Till then, Vasi Tadkali. After the new keyword, again comes the data type followed by the size of an array in square brackets. Don't forget to end a statement with a semicolon, as it is a mandatory thing in Java. Java gives you a flexibility to use square brackets on both sides while declaring an array. And to understand what actually happened in that line, take a look at this illustration below.
Illustration of variable declaration and initialization in Java.
Consider a statement int a, which signifies declaring an integer variable. The next statement a is equal to 5 signifies that we are initializing that variable with the value 5. The basic thing what we have to understand over here is the variable a only acts as a pointer and initially it is pointing to nothing. The moment our second statement is executed, a 32-bit memory is allocated for this integer. And our variable a, which was pointing to nowhere before, now starts pointing to this 32-bit memory location present here. Now observe these two lines. The first statement indicates that we are declaring an integer array variable, and the second statement indicates we are initializing an array variable with a new array object. From our previous example, what we have to understand over here is the arrayZ variable declared in the first line acts as a pointer and initially it is pointing to nothing. But the moment our second statement gets executed, an array object in the heap memory gets created and the variable arrayZ will start pointing to it. So you mean to say there are two processes happening in these two lines? But dude, how do you access or use this array in our program? Well, to understand this, let us start with our next topic, accessing an array.
Accessing an array.
Before we start saying this concept, in my computer go to D drive, workspace and then go to basic examples folder. Here in this folder, create a new directory by name 03 arrays. Create a new program file by name arraysdemo1.java using the steps what I have taught you in my previous sessions. Now right click the file, press edit using edit plus and there you go. Type the program as seen here with line to line and letter to letter accuracy. In this program, if we first declare a variable just by typing int a and then write a print statement to access it, we will be getting the following compilation error. That is, variable value might not have been initialized. Reason being, in this statement we are just declaring a pointer which is pointing to nothing. Now as we have accessed a variable which is pointing to nothing in line number 6, we get the following error, variable a might not have been initialized. Now in the same program, if we initialize the variable value to numerical 5, before we access the variable in our SOP statement, our code will compile fine and it will run clean as a whistle. Reason being, once the initialization statement is executed, a memory space is allocated to a variable and the variable starts pointing to this memory location. Any variable whose value is pointed to a memory location can be accessed in Java. Wow, I didn't know this before. So we cannot access any variable before initializing. Interesting. Does the same rule apply while we are accessing an array? Yes, it's almost the same. But for arrays, it's a little bit complex. In Java, arrays have something called as array index. That is, each memory block, as you can see, can hold a value. Whenever an array object is created in a memory, default values for that variable will be fed by the JVM to all indexes in that array. Now to feed the values into a particular index, just type the statement z of 0 and assign a new value 43 using the assignment operator. Kaboom! The value of z of 0 is now 43 as the below statement got executed. Likewise, we can change the value of z of 1 to 75, z of 2 to 89, z of 3 to 116 and z of 4 to 267. If you observe closely, an array of size 5 has its index starting from 0 and ending at number 4. Each index in this array can hold a 32-bit integer value and it is totally equivalent to a solo integer variable. And so, the values in these indexes can be changed in a program at any point of time. Dude, I have a doubt now. In this program, we have created an integer array, fine. But can we have arrays belonging to other data types too? Of course, you can create any array of any data type. And yes, it can be of any size that you define. The example I just showed you was an int array of size 5. Likewise, you can create a float array of size 4, a byte array of size 6, a short array of size 3, a long array of size 5, a double array of size 6, a char array of size 10, and why not a boolean array of size 15 too. Dude, you said default values are stored whenever we initialize an array. How will I know that? Well, to prove the same, let us jump into our next topic, how to verify a default value.
How to verify a default value?
In the program you see here, observe the following code. Inside each SOP statement, we are accessing an array referring to its index. Well, if we compile this code, we get 0 compilation errors. And if we run this code, we get the following output. Hope you have noticed that all indexes have been assigned with default value 0 all by your JVM. Default value of an integer is 0. And so, you have got an output 0 in all parts of the print statement. But why no errors? We have accessed an array variable before assigning a value, right? We should have got an error. There is a huge difference between initializing a variable and assigning a value to a variable. In this example, we are forced to get an error as we have accessed a variable before initializing. Whereas in this array example, as you can see, array is already being created and being initialized using the new keyword. Observe here, in the first line we have just declared a variable. All that means is you have declared a pointer which is pointing to nothing. At this point, if you invoke or try to access this variable, our JVM will be having nothing to point to. And we will get a compilation error stating variable value might not have been initialized. Now the same principle will apply to our array example. The first line of code only declares an array, and this creates a pointer pointing to nothing. You will get the same compilation error stating variable value might not have been initialized. Reason is simple. We are trying to access a mere pointer which is pointing towards nothing. But once you initialize the array in this line, kaboom! An array object is created which is of defined size and with default values stored inside. Now why default values are stored in an array object and why not the same in other places, I will be teaching you in detail when I start teaching you OOPS. Till then wasi tadkadi. Understand one thing, for a single variable step a equal to 5 is a point of initialization, but for an array variable step array z is equal to new int of 5 is a point of initialization. You can always access an array variable once it is initialized and not before that. Well, if you try to access the variable before it gets initialized, you will get an error by name variable might not have been initialized blah blah blah. Dude, one more question. For integer data type, 0 is a default value. For other primitive data types, what are the default values? Yallamu naan dhaan solli kudukuduma. Poya po. I have taught you how to program, right? Try finding out by yourself. So hamari payale. Ting ting ting.
Mene assignment.
Find out the default values of all 7 data types below using the similar programming methods.
Length of an array.
Dude, you showed us how to declare the size of an array while initializing it. But as a programmer, if I want to know the length of an array real time, is there any way that I can fetch the length programmatically? Well, that's really a good question. Knowing the array length in real time is a key thing we do while we program using arrays. Inside every array object, there lies a variable by name length, whose value can be accessed by a programmer during runtime. Now, what is an object, what is a variable inside it, etc. I will teach you when I start teaching OOPS. For now, just understand, if an array is of name z, we have to access the length of an array by saying z.length. That's it. Katam gatam. Now let us see a short program to understand how to work with an array length in Java.
Finding the length of an array in real time.
In the above program, as you can notice, z.length gives you an access to fetch the length of the above array. Let us compile the program by pressing Ctrl 1, which would give us 0 errors as seen here. Now run the program by pressing Ctrl 2 and kaboom! You can see the length of an array is printed using a simple SOP statement. Fun part is, even in this SOP statement we can use this variable directly. Now let us recompile the program by pressing Ctrl 1 as we have made certain changes in our program. Press Ctrl 2 again to run the code and kaboom! Our code is exactly working the same even after the changes we made. With this, we can say z.length gives us an access to the length of the above array. Congratulations!
Arrays are immutable objects.
Now here is a very important thing you all need to know about an array. Array objects are immutable in size. Immutable? Now what is that? Immutable object means you cannot change the size of an array once you initialize it at start. Please note, in the program, the moment you declare the array size as 5, katam gatam, you cannot extend the size of an array anywhere in that program. Some people think array size can be extended later in a program, but that's complete bullshit. It might be true in other programming languages, but in Java, once you create an array, the size is fixed. You have to bear with it till the end of the program. Okay, one doubt. Suppose, only suppose, what if we try to access an array with an index that is not existing? Will we get a compilation error? Nope, you will not get any compilation error. And in this case, your program will compile fine with 0 compilation errors. 0 what? Check this program.
What will happen if we exceed the index of an array?
In our program Arrays Demo 2, I have made a small alteration. I have added one more SOP statement at the end, and here I am trying to access the 6th index of the above array, which actually does not exist. Now if I compile this program, all I get is 0 compilation errors. But dude, has compiler gone nuts? How come it allowed this statement? We all know the size of an array is 5. How come the compiler didn't notice it? You told Java compiler is very strict and all. You can kiss the da. Now let's check out what will happen if we run the code. Yena? Array index out of bound exception na. Now what is that? My child, still a long way to go. I will teach you exceptions when I am teaching you core Java. For now just understand, never cross an array index intentionally. Understood? क्या रे मैया कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा सो, कभी कभी एक्सेप्शन बोलता सो, कभी कभी एरर बोलता सो, अल्लाह की कसम हमारा दिमाग पूरा पक के बिरयानी बन गया रे.
More on array lengths and array index.
An array index will always start with 0. If the length of an array is n, an array index will start from 0, will continue in the same series and always end with n-2 and n-1. For example, an array of length 5 will always have its last index at 4, that is n-1. Now perform this mini assignment to get a better clarity on array lengths. Ting ting ting!
Mini assignment.
Print the sizes of various arrays declared in this program below. Please don't skip this assignment however small it might be. Unless you type and get more errors, you will never understand how to code. Coding real time is the only solution for you to learn programming. So you all know what to do. Muchkond code madi.
Single line array initialization.
There are 4 stages that will happen in an array program. Stage 1. Declaring the array variable. Stage 2. Initializing the array variable by creating a new array object. Stage 3. Accessing of array index to feed new values. Stage 4. Access each index to print the values one by one. Well, there is a shortcut to eliminate the first 3 steps. The statement what you are seeing will declare, create and feed new values to an array in one single step. That's really nice. But how do you get it defined? It's simple. The number of comma separated values inside the 2 flower braces corresponds to the size of an array. The below counter shows there are 5 values in between flower braces, and so the array which is to be created will be of length 5. Awesome! Dude, is there any shortcut to display all values in a single go? The last stage of writing 5 print statement looks very lengthy to me. Of course there is a shortcut. We have to use something called the for loop. More on this I will be explaining it to you when time comes. For now, just write down the code, type it on your PC and run the program to get the output. Now here is a small work for your brain. Pause the video and analyze the program what you are seeing. Just predict what might be the output for the following program. In this program, all I have done is created a boolean array and a double array using 2 different ways of initialization. Both arrays behave the same way even though they are created differently. Try executing this program on your PC so that you can get a steady grip on various types of initialization. And that's it for today. Understand the code and analyze each step of what you type. Maintain notes for each step as today you have 5 programs to practice. I will be coming tomorrow with 2 more building blocks, that is literals and operators. Send us your doubts on WhatsApp if you have any so that we can solve it for you. Remember, you understanding the subject is our topmost priority. Subscribe to this channel to stay updated for our next video release. Till then, this is Balaji.K.R signing out. See you soon. Muchkond code madi.